So you guys see all the videos, you hear all the things, you watch all the stuff, but I don't think a lot of you know what it's like to do a live demo in front of a bunch of people. So as I get ready for my first demo of the year here at Adorama and getting into trade show season where those crowds are massive, I figured let me walk you through what it's like, because some of you have no clue and maybe you'll think about it differently when you see it. Stick around, we got a lot to talk about. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Seth Miranda. I'm a pro photographer here in New York. If you're watching this video, you probably already know that. If you don't, you want to check out some of my work, check out Last X Witness on all social and poke around this channel. A lot of stuff about lighting, cameras, all the photo nerd stuff. Go ahead and subscribe. And now that that's out of the way, what am I doing here with this guy, Harold? I think I'm going to call him Harold. Well, I'm in the Adorama event space right now because I'm getting ready for the first demo of the year, which will then lead into trade show season, which is platform classes and hundreds of seats. Here, not so much, but don't forget, we've also got these screens right here, which are you guys in that chat room for the live stream. So you have the in-person crowd, you have the virtual crowd, and you've got to do a live demo while they're all watching you and they're trying to get something out of it. You want to be coherent, you don't want to be boring, you want to be worthwhile, and you don't want to mess up to a point where you're trolled forever, right? And you know, sometimes messing up is just something you just were off that day or something went wrong technically. And the technical stuff is what I'm trying to work out right now. And when I say technical, I don't mean technique, I mean the gear, because I don't usually work on my demos or plan them out. I kind of like to unravel my brain along with the crowd and we kind of work together to get to an end result. But this time I'm using a camera I've only used once, and that is the Fujifilm GFX 102 megapixel medium format camera. I just picked up and I'm starting my system out, but I did used to have the 100S, so I'm pretty familiar with it, but this is a whole nother beast and I just wanted to make sure I'm in tune with it so I don't run into any stupid problems that will just stop me on the spot and have to figure out some weird setting or some confliction that's going on inside the camera. And I just wanted to make sure that that's not the thing that screws up this demo, right? Because keep in mind, you got about 30 to 60 people on average in these chairs, and then hundreds of people in the chat room, and then thousands of people watching it on playback forever. And you just don't want to be, you know, caught off guard by something you can prevent on the spot now before we go into that. And keep in mind, there's nothing to hide in this space. There's 6 camera points, even overhead, so that you're showing everything. And you've got to be prepared to kind of let go a lot of things that you think are secrets you got to hold tight. There's no secrets in this industry. And you just, if you're going to do this, go all in. That's kind of my, yeah, I guess that's my biggest tip. If you're going to do this, go all the way. When you're shooting live here, you end up with all your shots on these screens so that this whole crowd can see what you're doing, as well as projected on that back wall. So you also kind of want to make sure that whatever is on your laptop matches to some degree what they're going to be seeing as a result on those screens. And sometimes it's a little tricky, but we did kind of get those screens on the wall pretty calibrated to look and match MacBooks pretty well. The projector, it's a projector. It's going to be what's going to be. And of course, it's a direct feed going into the live stream. So whoever's watching at home will get like a direct, you know, integration of the image into the live stream with a picture-in-picture. If you haven't seen any of the live streams we've done here, I'll put a link down to the Adorama Events YouTube channel. You should go hit subscribe on that, because you're missing out on some amazing presenters every week. And it's free. So go ahead and hit subscribe on that channel as well. Part of the thing that's really difficult is, you know, you're trying to maintain looking at that chat and not miss anything, because you don't want to like totally make them feel like, why am I watching this live? They're not interacting. But you also want to stay up on everybody that's here in person. What's crazy is you have to remember the people that are here in person, they're gone forever after that hour and a half that you're doing the demo. But the people online, it's kind of there forever. So it's like this weird balance point in your head you have to kind of think about. I'm always trying to wonder like what's in their heads and what they're trying to get out of it, so that I can stay on the wavelength of what keeps people interested in even watching this. Like, we know this stuff, but what is it that they're trying to get out of it? And that's, I think, key to being a good presenter or I don't know, educator, live demo guy. I don't know. What do you even call us? Let me know in those comments. But again, I really don't like to plan things because I think that's really how shooting happens. And that's how we all work, is as much as we go in with a plan, in the end, you don't know what's going to happen and some weird variable gets thrown in your way. And I like the crowd to be my variable. You guys throw questions at me and we go, okay, well, we're going left. Well, now we're going to go right. You know, and I think that shows what caliber photographer you have with these demos. And I think a lot of people don't know what it's like to shoot live, period. And where it's not just going after the shot, but it's really going after the crowd and the information and getting to a result and knowing what you're talking about and trying to get it to be coherent without being just like a droning. You want them to be psyched and connect with people, right? So I think hopefully this video gives you that sense. As of right now, it's crazy, but as of right now, at the recording of this video, I have almost 200 people registered, which is nuts. So that doesn't mean 200 people are gonna show up. That just means it's a free event. So they're going to sign up and just get reminders for it. And you know, the event space has always been a fixture and people know it's here. Although I did just rebuild this space the past year during the summer, and it's been great. So I'm very psyched to be in my house, that I built, and the crowd and the community that I'm a part of. So it's fun in that regard, and it's definitely a responsibility I don't take lightly. That said, I don't know what I'm going to get into, and I have him set up because the title of this demo is Portraits from Scratch, and I did that because I wanted a super open-ended type of topic so that I can take it wherever I want. And that comes with another set of responsibility, like, well, what is it? You don't want to be talking gibberish. You don't want to be starting off in a place that people don't want you to start off on and end up in a place that isn't where you want to end up. So I'm kind of here trying to work through some sort of idea of where to start it off and then where to take it, but that's it. I really do believe in things happening on the spot, and I think it really shows what, you know, cloth you're cut from as a photographer when you can do it on the fly and really come through on things, and not just like trial and error to death till maybe something happens. No, you're getting to a result because of the decisions you're making in front of people. And this is, it's tough. It's tough when you got a lot of people staring at you. I feed off of energy of people here, right? So if they're too quiet, I freak out. And you've probably watched a lot of my demos where I make everybody scream at once to kind of break them out of that ice that they're in. Scream! Thank you. Do you feel better? Now you can yell at me a little bit. Or, you know, I try to get them in the chat to say anything like where they're from, what they shoot with. I just want to get people into it because I can't get into it if they're not into it. And I start getting all freaked out. That said, one of the things about shooting live that you have to kind of realize as a viewer is everything that we probably show you, we could do like that, just get to the end result in 5-10 minutes, but we have to break it down, slow it down, and kind of make the wrong decisions and show you the difference when we make the right decision. So you'll show an image that isn't so great, be based on something you told them wasn't going to be great, and then you get them to a better result based on something you changed or a technique you're applying, and they start understanding the whys, which is what I'm hoping this demo is. We kind of elevate the philosophy of the shot, right, rather than the technical. You can always get the technical down, but I think with portraiture, it's so subjective that I'm going to give them my spin on what I look for and what I try to get to, and what you're getting out of the different techniques and when to apply. Because remember, this is a language, right? So I'm trying to translate it for everybody, and everything's a consideration, from the camera you're using to what you're tethering into, the lights you're using, to even, you know, your model. They're 50% of it, you know, is the person you're photographing and are working with. So you kind of want someone that's used to being in front of a crowd of people that, you know, usually models aren't shy, but they kind of understand what the demo's about. It's more about the demo itself than the shots we're getting, if that makes any sense. You're not always trying to finish a shot, but you're trying to, you know, prove a technique and an application of a technique and talk through it rather than, you know, shots for them. And, you know, they usually have like a really good, you know, demeanor about them. But don't forget, a great model is definitely something to consider when you're doing a demo. And a lot of times you're not going to have your choice of casting them, but you just got to get a good rapport with them as soon as you can so that you kind of build a chemistry going forward. Don't be weird about it. Don't be creepy to them, obviously, and, you know, introduce yourself, make sure that they're comfortable with you, and it's going to come across in the demo and with the shots themselves. So I think that's also something that people don't put into consideration when they're doing demos is, you know, the other human up here with you. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, there'll be a link down below to the demo that I that this demo is will be just existing there. But what I love about the event space itself, or having this space, is it's kind of like our Comedy Cellar. Like, we get to try out things here for crowds, and a crowd that already knows us and can kind of give us a little leeway, so that, you know, we're not going into like huge things like trade shows with 700 seats blindly, or representing a brand, or doing the videos that you see edited, all the stuff that we're doing that's teaching you something as just a video rather than a class. We can kind of understand and connect with what you guys are trying to get out of it. So we're not just talking into thin air, we're talking to the people the way they want to be spoken to, about the things they want to know, rather than just like, I don't know, maybe they want to, hopefully this works. Oh, I just lost my light. I love having this like hometown crowd feel. And I think it's like a huge privilege to have that. And I'm so glad that Adorama has this for us. And I'm so glad I was, you know, part of the team to bring it back, you know. And part of my end of that team is to get in here and do those demos, and bring in some colleagues and peers to do a lot more demos. So right now I want to figure out, well, where am I starting off, and where can I take things technique wise that makes sense and are beneficial. I'm kind of walking through like giant light over to nice tight contrasty light, and maybe some special stuff in between. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. And that's exactly what I mean. We will figure it out. So right now I'm just using the house kit, the B10X Plus lights, with my own beauty dish, obviously. But we got a pair of them, and I'll be mixing in my B10Xs, which are 250 watts, with these 500 watt units when I do the demo. So part of this is also getting your gear together and making sure that your kit is ready, dragging here, make sure you got everything you got. Of course, if I really needed something, I could go to the store and be like, hey, can I just borrow this really quick, or take something off display? But you want to make sure you're prepared. And part of this is making sure your kit is ready, which honestly, if you travel and shoot, you kind of already have some kind of grab and go kit, right? So hopefully this demo goes great. I haven't really had a demo where I walked out here going, oh, that was a rough one. I feel like at some point you have to just trust yourself. And that goes for either being someone that's doing demos and teaching, or you just being a photographer and trusting your decisions on the day, in the moment of the shot, and getting there, right? So that's kind of how I try to do my demos, is honest and straight up, and not hiding anything. I'm doing it right there for you guys. It's just, I want to get used to this new camera of mine as much as I can, so that whatever I get tripped up on isn't going to be something I can prevent, like the technical, like something conflicting in those menus, or settings I wasn't aware that were on, or something dumb because I just didn't dig into the camera enough to catch it before I go live in front of people. So there's that. Anyway, I'm probably going to throw a camera on me somewhere, like an Insta360, so that I can get like a POV, what it's like as the host doing a demo, so you guys can get an idea of what it's like staring into an ocean of eyeballs, judging everything you do. No, not really. But it's something to consider, and you're reading faces, and you're seeing what's working, and you're wondering if you should keep going in this direction or go that direction. Either way, I love my demos to be like a house party. I want people yelling. I want people screaming. I don't want hands raised. I want the questions yelled at me. I want to get people involved and pull them out of the crowd and be part of it. Like Dan Norton always has people come out of the crowd to be his light stands or something. And I think people really get a lot out of it when they're part of it. And that's what I always think content is that everybody's a part of it, not just the person creating the content. So anyway, hopefully this goes well, and you guys will find out what it's like to shoot live for a crowd, both in person, virtually, and what it's like to get yourself ready to do this type of career path if you're looking to build out that type of channel, or whatever it is you're looking to do in this industry. Sort of future Seth here. So it turns out that they declared a state of emergency for a massive storm that was striking at the exact hours of my demo. So we postponed it a week. And, you know, that's always tough, because after all the promoting, after all the setup, you have to kind of go through that all over again, rebook the model and promote it all over again, and fix all the confusion for people that didn't get the message. Some people might show up anyway, who knows? It's always rough, but it's also part of it, right? So I figured I would kind of jump on here and clue you into what that's like. Anyway, we'll see how many people even show up this time. You know, maybe they kind of gave up on the event. I don't know, but there still is a lot of signups at the time of recording this. So we'll see what happens anyway. Okay, jump back. So with the demo being postponed, I bought myself a week, and that's why I'm back in here testing and working with the GFX 102 to kind of get more and more used to it. And I was even in my studio for the last 2 days with a bunch of friends, actors, performers, people that just wanted to get shots and trying to get used to the camera. And I'm realizing I'm conflicting my style with what this camera really produces. I love this camera. It is gorgeous. The images that come out of it are amazing. And when I had the GFX 100S, I would call that my special projects camera. And I'm realizing I called it that because I would pick it up when I wanted the project to end up with what this gives me as a result. With a demo, I want the most versatility. I want to be able to do whatever I want. If someone asks me a weird question, I can do it right on the spot. If we're trying to prove a technique, I can just make it happen. And with this, it's such a deliberate, intentful system, and I am limited on my kit with it. I only have a couple lenses for it, that my style is kind of conflicting for a demo, not a project. That's the difference, and that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. And when you have a lot of people coming in person, a lot of people in that chat room, and a live stream that'll be out there for a long time, you kind of get in your head, you want to put your best foot forward. And sometimes that means going back to Old Faithful rather than the shiny new awesome toy. Although this is not a toy, this is totally a tool, and it's amazing. And I really do enjoy this camera. I just don't know if it's a demo camera for me and my style. The thing that I'm actually battling, if you're wondering, is I'm in here with this guy, and I'm realizing that my style of always stepping in closer, if you notice the way I shoot, I tend to get in tighter and tighter and tighter. And this is a portrait demo. I'm noticing that I'm coming up short on the minimum focusing distance. It's a little long for what I'm used to, right? So with that, you know, you would be able to just crop because this camera has so much resolution. It's amazing. And that's standard practices in commercial end. You shoot a little wider so that they can crop in post and, you know, maybe put words around it or whatever. But for what I'm doing as a demo, I want to be able to do it right there on the spot, no matter what. And I am finding that I'm molding my style for the camera rather than the camera optimizing everything I want to do. And again, because it's such a deliberate, intentful type camera system, at least with what I have on hand right now, it's changing the way I would do things normally, and it's kind of getting in my head and making me a little unsure about things. That said, I did borrow this 120 macro lens to kind of mitigate that, but then again, I'm putting myself in a box with just the lens. And part of the portrait demo was talking about lens selection, and I kind of want to be able to move around a focal length range and show people a bunch of different things. So that said, I think I'm probably going to lean back on my Nikon for this one. I thought it would just come clean and be honest about it, but I'm sure some of you can relate, and you always want to put your best foot forward, and you always want to be able to have the tools right for what you're doing at the moment. And maybe there's just a different demo out there that I can do specifically with the GFX 102, and this just might not be it, and it also might not be the right time, as I only have a handful of experiences with this specific camera. Even if I am familiar with the GFX system as a whole, I know the Nikon Z system really inside and out, including the type of images I'm going to get out of it, you know, the minimum focusing, how close I can step in, and my muscle memory and habits are there for it too. So again, when you're on the spot, you just want to be able to get going and do it. You don't want to get into any hiccups and bumps. And if you do, you want to be able to get out of them really quickly and show people how to get out of them really quickly. And I'm just not feeling personally confident with that yet on the GFX 102. So maybe in the future. Either way, I just thought I would be like super honest about it. I hope you guys understand. It happens, and who knows what would have happened if I did the demo last week when I was going to go into it with the GFX regardless. I would have made it work. That's the simple thing about it, and that's how we do it, right? I just want to put out the demo I want to put out rather than making it work. Anyway, that's I thought I'd just jump on here and kind of throw that in. All right, it is game day. I got all these chairs here to fill, and it is snowing outside anyway, so I just can't win. This demo just feels like it's got a weird curse to it, but we're gonna get through it. So now that I'm gonna go with my Nikon, watch me towards the end of the demo probably go, you know, let's try a few with the GFX, and I end up doing 2 cameras at once because I always throw everything in the kitchen sink at these demos, but that's kind of the way I like to do things. I like them to be chaotic and a little kind of crazy, and I like the rabbit holes we jump down as a group. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna throw on a Insta360 on me to hopefully give you guys a POV about, you know, so you get an idea of what it looks like when you're doing a demo from my perspective. And hopefully this makes for a cool video, because I don't even know it yet, but I am looking forward to just kind of like getting up here and getting into it. It's the waiting around and over prepping and overthinking that gets into my brain sometimes. I just need to just hand me stuff and let's go. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I just want to get going. Anyway, Let's see how this goes. We're about to get started. Ashley showed up. We love Ashley. Yay. She braved the snowstorm from Philly to come in for this, and we love that. She was also in my Nikon ZF video. If you haven't seen that, go check that out because you were awesome in that. Not me, you. But Pete from the Comic-Con video showed up first. Always first in the crowd. However, I did kind of make a crazy decision here. So while I'm going to be shooting with Ashley, working possibly up to 6 lights, I only have 4 set up, but we don't know where things are going to go. I'm probably going to use both cameras. Yeah, so if you look over here, I have the Fuji and I have the Nikon ready to go. What's crazy about this is that I have the ProPhoto new remotes, the Connect Pros. Turns out that if I keep the Nikon in mode 2 and the Fujifilm in mode 1, I can use this to keep my exposure going and then just switch to this and nothing changes. Mode 1 doesn't change anything, it just lets me trigger them. So it's kind of cool, I can use both cameras. So I might just like get through what I'm trying to get through versatility-wise on the demo with the Nikon. And then towards the end, I'll probably switch over to the Fujifilm just to get some shots with that, because why not? But I also have to, you know, work the switcher and all the cameras in the space. And I'll have 2 audiences online, which is, you know, you guys, in room, which is Pete. But the only constant I have is Ashley. She's my only constant. We appreciate that. Either way, getting started, and I'm just realizing how overcomplicated I made all this. So I'll put a link to this demo down below. You let me know how crazy it got. And whatever happens in the next 2 hours, I'm taking you along with me. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, I already asked you. I get it. Got it. I don't need attitude. I don't need that New York attitude. Yes. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, we're live. What's going on, everyone? My name is Seth Miranda. Welcome to Adorama itself. I got my girl Ashley with me. Activate. This is New York. Come on. And this is my home court. Literally the house I built. 1, 2, 3, scrape! I'm not shooting. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, scrape! One more time and just scream. Scrape! Thank you. Oh, don't blink. Come on. What are you doing? Of course you blink on that one. Of course you get drunk on this one. Look at me. Look at me. Come on. To me a little bit. Yeah, beautiful. Let's take a look. The quality of light still hits. You get these specular highlights. You get a little bit of the shadow, right? Look at the eye. I just want you to see just how much texture you pull out of her eye.
This is only the beginning.
Cool about the ProPhoto remote is the batteries die right in front of my face. Great. You guys have any questions so far? Nothing? How many AAAs I got there, 2?
Yep.
Why am I always on a suicide mission when I'm live? It's amazing. All right, I think that was a good demo. You can see this place is a wreck and the chairs are everywhere. But I am out of breath and sweaty. And Ashley's got her coat on, so we know it's already time to go. But I hope this gave you guys some insight into this. Let me know down below if you're into this kind of stuff. I just thought it was a weird perspective I could give you guys. And man, I'm getting a pizza and I'm going to a coma. Although I got to be here tomorrow to set up for a podcast. Hey, next morning, Seth here, and I thought this was like the best way to close this video out because there's also the aftermath of this. This demo went so long, it went to the closing bell of Adorama, which means I didn't get a chance to pack up all my gear. And that's a part of it too, is all this stuff has got to get rushed, packed up, all the boxes broken down, all the stands put away, and all the camera gear and everything put back into all these cases so that I can get on with the rest of my life here. But you know, it's not just that. I have to pack this up and then rush speed set up the podcast setup for today, which is the Coffee Creators podcast we do every Wednesday morning on AdoramaTV. I got a guest coming, which means I got to reset the space also for that live stream. So I got to break this down, pack it up, build that, and then go click and go live again, which is awesome. Look, I'm very grateful I get to do it. This is an awesome experience for me, and I've been having a great time doing it. But of course, after anything you put out there on social and the internet, you're going to hear the comments about what you did, and a lot of them were great for last night, but there's also a few that were just kind of and probably the biggest quote-unquote complaint was I wasn't prepared enough. And hopefully this video gave you guys an insight into how much preparation actually goes into this stuff. And because my batteries went dead, that happens on set. So if you're curious about what happened, the link will be down below for the live stream. You can check it out for yourself. But the reality is that this took me 25 years and like 7 to 12 years of demos to be prepared enough to do what I did last night. So I don't take too much like scarring from comments like that, but you can see the ignorance and you're going to deal with it. And I think it's important that if you're going to get into this or want to see the respective point, it's part of it is the feedback, the comments. Like I said, it's out there forever. You're going to hear somebody's thoughts on what you did for as long as it's out there. So just be prepared for that if you're thinking of getting into this, and let me know if you are. Did this help you? If you're trying to get on this side of the industry where you're doing education or speaking to people or doing demos, or if you're into any public speaking, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget hit subscribe, because I'm trying to get this channel to 100K, and I think we can do it this year, and that's the best way to support this channel. I don't do any sponsors or anything, so I would really appreciate if you guys could subscribe, and let me know what you think about everything down in those comments, of course. And don't forget, you can join the Discord. Yeah, the conversation continues 24/7. Hit the link. You can share work, answer questions, ask questions, troubleshoot, share news. It's a great community. We got about 1,000 members at the time of recording this video, and you can be part of it. So don't forget to check out that Discord link down below. A lot of stuff to click down below. Okay, for now, I got to get this situated and get built up and get going. Thank you guys for joining me. My name is Seth Miranda, last ex-witness on all social, and I will see you in the next one. Later.